Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of AEW Unrestricted, the official podcast of All Elite Wrestling. And my name is Tony Schiavone, and of course, my co-host is the official referee of All Elite Wrestling, the lady herself that points at people and tells them, "Don't do that." Aubrey
you can
Edwards.
actually buy that pointing on a t-shirt. Shop AEW.com. That's my little plug for the day.
Wow.
Thanks, Tony.
We're very happy to have Sonny Kiss with us, one of our great athletes here in AEW. Sonny, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you, Tony. Great to see you, Aubrey.
Oh, I'm so excited. This one, I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah. She got the coffee and everything ready.
Oh, yeah. It's actually tea because I talk too much. And then, my voice is destroyed by the end of this. So yeah.
That makes perfect sense. You're well prepared.
I'm trying. Yeah. I'm not a pro like Tony, so.
Well, I've got Monster, which is my
Tony's
go-to drink.
Monster.
So I want to start this out by saying that Sonny is the only wrestler in AEW that I have danced with. Okay,
I like that. Right. And hopefully you keep it that way.
we had the Memorial Day party, remember, in Jacksonville, and we were on the bus back, and I was standing up and dancing with Sonny, and everybody says, "Man, Sonny can really dance." I said, "Well, I guess Sonny can, but what about me?" But I was a lot of Moscow Mules.
You got some moves, Tony. They were loving it,
and I loved it too. Sonny, I just want to say to you that I love your attitude. I love that you're a part of what we do. You are just a ray of sunshine. You really are. And I think it's so great that you're a part of this company.
Thank you so much, Tony. That means a lot coming from you. I really appreciate that.
Thanks.
Awesome. So let's look through a couple of your background, because you've done quite a bit before coming to AEW. So let's see. Plant-based athlete. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
Nostalgia junkie.
Totally.
2 times ACE Fight for Flight champion.
Awesome. Ace, yes. Fight for Flight champion, yes.
ECPW light heavyweight champion. Sanctuary tag team champion. Tier 1 champion. WoW No Limits champion.
Yes.
The Concrete Rose, my favorite moniker ever. And your preferred pronouns are she, he, sis, homie, and babe, which is the greatest list of pronouns ever.
And whatever else under the sun that is directly rooted to a person or human being. So do that. I'm cool with it all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about how you ended up at AEW.
I always tell a story and it's really funny to me. I say it the exact same way every time. So Brandy slid into my DMs and I always say, "Don't tell Cody." So she slid into my DMs. I was it was so funny. It was late, kind of late at night too. I was like, "Oh, hi." And she was just like, "Are you signed anywhere?" Well, I think she first said, "Nice to meet you." And it's so funny because it's we've met multiple times. And, in wrestling, this is a very common thing where it's we've met 6 times, dude. Yeah. So that kind of happened. But, I get it. Brandy's a super busy businesswoman. She's probably got a million things on her mind, but we met at Ring of Honor and a couple other places. So so she's like, "Nice to meet you. Are you signed anywhere else?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have this contract with Lucha Underground, and I'm kind of going through the process of trying to get out of that contract." And so she's just like, "Well, I want you to keep a certain date open," because at first she was kind of just I was wanted to book you for an event, and she's like, "Keep Memorial Day open if it's possible." And thankfully, Lucha Underground allows us to do everything but another company, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So, so we were allowed to do it, which was great. So I was like, "Oh, thank God, here's an opportunity for me, And then, so at first I thought it was an all-in 2. I thought it was going to be just an all-in 2. I didn't know AEW was a thing until January when they announced that. And I realized, oh no, you're going to be on AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. This is huge. So it was really, really exciting. It was amazing. Really, really good feeling.
And you were on the Over the Budget Battle Royal in
Correct.
AEW. And tell me, what were your feelings that night? I mean, obviously for anybody that is now a part of AEW, like you said, you had to have butterflies, nervous.
Oh my God. First of all, okay, let's just get that out of the let's get that into the universe. I am always nervous. And it's just because I'm very passionate about a lot of things. I get extremely nervous because I want to be portrayed in the right way, and I want to be seen in the best light. So everything that I do, I'm always just like, ooh, like, am I saying this correctly? Am I doing this correctly? Are they pleased? Are my bosses pleased? Are the fans? It's just always about just, making sure that I am seen in the best light. Yeah, that's why I get that way.
I think it's totally valid to be nervous, though. Like,
it is. Everybody's nervous, but me.
Screw you, Tony. You're nervous. I just don't want to admit it.
No, I'm not, because I'm old. When you guys get this age, you won't be nervous anymore.
All right, old man.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You guys should have seen me like with this past announcement. I'm sure we'll talk about that.
God. Yeah. So this.
If you would have felt my heart beating and when I saw the actual graphic, oh my God, the people around me are just like, your whole demeanor changed. What's going on? Are you okay? I'm just like, I'm fine.
So for context a little bit, we're obviously recording this ahead of time, and the match with Cody for the TNT title with Sonny was actually announced last night, right after Fyter Fest Night 2. And I had heard about it, I think, a couple days prior, because you were showing me some gear at the 4th of July party, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like trying not to cry because I'm just so goddamn proud of you.
Oh my
and
God.
Like
Thanks
all
so
of
much.
the growth you've had for the last year, and just what an amazing part of the locker room you are. And it's like, it's not even like let's put Sonny on TV. It's like, no, Sonny fucking earned this spot. Like, this is incredible. So congratulations. I'm very excited to see that match.
Yeah,
because it's going to be awesome.
Oh my God.
But let's go back to Double or Nothing a little bit, because you did a spot with Tommy Dreamer that I absolutely love.
Yes. That was such a fun moment. Tommy's a friend of mine. It was great that I got a chance to work with him. I think that was there's supposed to be like other spots in the Battle Royal. I think that it was a lot going on as a lot of people, and we all had to get our stuff in. So I was supposed to have other spots, but that was like the moment that they wanted me to have, which was great. I think Billy was kind of talking to Tommy like, hey, like, let Sonny get that moment. Or we were supposed to also have a moment too, Billy and I. But I'll reveal a little tea. Things were going so fast in the Battle Royal, so it was kind of like it wasn't able to actually happen the way we wanted it to. But we got it later because we had another Battle Royal and we got it then. So yeah, but it was such a cool, overall amazing moment. Double or Nothing. It was. I'll never forget it. And Miss Sandra hooked that gear up. So yeah,
she's tremendous. We're talking about Sandra, who is our
Sandra Gray original.
Her seamstress in the back. Yeah, I really miss it when sometimes that she's not there. She just tremendous. I want to go back to last year at Fight for the Fallen in 2019. You had the Jacksonville Jaguar cheerleaders as your background dancers. Now, is it true that you choreographed that whole routine?
That is absolutely correct. I did choreograph it.
How long did you have to choreograph that?
Actually, it was because the choreography was short. It only took me like 30 minutes. It's nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you a little background story on that, a little tea. So
Sure.
I asked for that months ahead of time. I think I asked for that for Double or Nothing, but obviously with it being a Battle Royal, it wouldn't have made sense. So it was kind of like, it was the perfect time. And I was talking to Nick, and Nick got it approved, and Cody was just like, okay, well, we're gonna let you run with this. So, go ahead and do your thing. And I was like, yeah. So it got like approved like 4 days ahead, and I was like, ugh. But I screamed. I listened to my music over and over and over again, and I choreographed the most fun and sexy and funky routine that I could possibly choreograph. So it was really cool. And the girls came in, they were ready to work, and they had so much fun. I heard that they still talk about it, which is actually really, really amazing to me, because I would love to have them again someday. So it's actually really awesome that they had a good time, because now I know that, they want to do it and I want to do it. So maybe one day. Yeah.
So one of the things that I absolutely loved about that entrance too is that you had a Jaguars jersey.
Yes.
And
Jalen
one of the
Ramsey.
things that you tend to incorporate, like, already your gear's amazing. Like, Sandra and you do an incredible job. But one of the other things I love is like a little bit of your style outside of the ring makes it in. So you've got like, you'll cut everything into a crop top, like currently you're tagging with Joey Janela, and the way that like the Janela crop top has been cut, I'm like, I want that shirt. I don't want the actual like one that they sell on Pro Wrestling Tees. I want the Sonny Kiss crop top version of the Janela shirt.
Crowd Cops 365. That's my moniker as well, as along with Concrete Rose and Total Babe and Baby Girl, a lot of different nicknames that I have, but whatever. But Crowd Cops 365 is definitely a thing for me. I wear them in the winter, spring, summer, fall, and I love wearing them. It's definitely a part of my style. I've been wearing one now. You can't really see it though, but yeah, it's like a little very 2000s crop top,
Very.
But yeah, it's definitely my style. I definitely want everything to be unique to me. And I want it should just be authentic. That's just me. That's my vibe. And even if I'm with Joey or I'm teaming with Dustin, it's all gonna work out because it's just a vibe. So.
Let's talk about teaming with Joey. How did that all come together?
Okay, so it started. We were supposed to actually team in Jersey at the Prudential Center, but that obviously couldn't happen, unfortunately, due to COVID. So I think there were still talks about it. We had a lot of ideas brewing up, and I was talking to Cody about direction for me, about where I wanted to go and how I wanted to be perceived. And then that came up, and Joey and I have actually driven together on the indies. So we've done many shows going up to Canada. We've spent 8, 16, 24 hours in a car at times together. So Joey and I are not strangers to each other. We know each other for a little while now. So the chemistry is very authentic. Our vibe is very authentic. Joey is Joey, I'm me. And I feel like it's great because he and I are just so different, yet at the same time, we're actually very much alike. People don't really see those qualities, but it's awesome because we're very like out there kind of characters, very like unconventional or whatever, however you want to say it, anomalies or just different. Like we're both very unique. But I think it comes together, and I think that's even just myself as a Concrete Rose, how I call myself that, is because there's a lot of facets to me. There's a lot of personalities to me, and I'm not necessarily based upon just feminine or masculine qualities. It's just more of an overall person, product that's just many different things to it. And I think that's great that Joey and I are now paired together because it's really it's enhancing our differences even more. So I love it. I have a blast, and I learned so much from Joey. Like Joey pushes me in and out of the ring. We have talks and about what we want to do, and it's all just nothing but love and positivity. And he's the best, and he's fearless. So why don't I want to be partners with a fearless person? I want to be just as fearless like that. You think I'm fearless, but that's fearless.
Joey's kind of redefined fearless a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He approached me with it, talking about you teaming together, and this is how he approached me with it. He said, have you watched the TV show The Gifted? I said, yes, I have. He said, we're kind of like The Gifted. We're unique. We have our own superpowers. And I went, I got it, man. I got it. So
perfect.
So that's what I think about when I see you two together. And
I love that. And even with the car scene and stuff like that too. It's weird to say, but I feel like we kind of like co-wrote it because a lot of the dialogue is very much us. We weren't told to say certain things. We weren't told to do certain things. A lot of the speaking and all that stuff, like the certain, like even just the subtle like tap, that I gave Joey before we like finished the guy off with the gasoline. It was just, a lot of those things were just very, very much us. Like it was not planned, it was just kind of like action, and then we went for it. Like all the things that I'm saying to him, like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong? Like, what's on your mind? All of that, super, super authentic. And I love that. Chemistry is fantastic.
Plans to do more of those videos?
I'm sorry?
Are there plans to do more of those videos?
I'm hoping so. I mean, the fans have been hassling us, honestly. Like, the fans have been so vocal about actually to be kind of like a series, like even like a spinoff of BTE. I would love for that to be a thing. Like, I would love that. TNT, AEW, I'm just saying, hi.
I feel like there's money there. I feel like that's definitely a
Sonny and Joey, a TV show? Heck yeah.
Yes. Please keep punching dudes in the crotch in gas station parking lots.
the Johnny Cage. It's so funny. But yeah, it's just I have so much fun teaming with Joey. And I can't wait to see where we go in the coming months and years, hopefully.
Speaking of teaming, a while back you got to team with Dustin Rhodes, who I know
my mentor, my trainer.
Yes, someone you've said multiple times is your mentor. And then I saw like on Twitter recently, like he's obviously a very proud of you, much like the same way we are that you're getting like a much deserved spotlight. Can you talk a little bit about what like working with Dustin's been like and what it's meant to you?
Sorry, I get the jitters when I even speak about him. I don't even think that I don't think he realizes the impact, and not just me and all the girls, but on the world, like on the world of professional wrestling. He is one of the greatest human beings, like to ever grace the earth. I'm so blessed and so thankful for him. And all the fans say on Twitter all the time and Instagram, you've been getting so much better. Dustin Rhodes is my trainer, guys. So exactly. That, like, you can't get any better than that. Like, you cannot ask for a better trainer and mentor. Dustin Rhodes. And Billy too. Billy helps me a lot, but heck yeah, him and just having both of them as like mentors is the most incredible thing. Like I'm the luckiest human being on the face of earth right now. Just having them just mentor me and like help me out with like my strikes and my intensity and who has more intensity than Dustin? Like no one. So it's fantastic. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. Yeah.
I love that Dustin sort of become like all of our like father figure plus brother plus uncle.
Yes,
like he just means so much to like our roster and what he's done. Like we'll just go to him like, Dustin, I just need to talk about something. Like, can you hear me out? And it's so great. We just got such a great thing going.
Sonny, AEW has always been known, at least with us who work behind the scenes, as an all-inclusive company. And we've had Zoom calls with Tony Khan, who's just a wonderful guy and just a wonderful person to work with. But talk about breaking down the barriers in diversity and inclusion in wrestling, and now working for a company that obviously is doing the same.
I mean, the companies, but even the company before signing with AEW, I feel like it's great to even take a chance on that, and because we're in kind of like a world where, it's not necessarily as taboo as it was before, but it still is. So like even certain things as far as like, African Americans in the spotlight and LGBT people in the spotlight. I feel like Tony Khan is just like, I don't care, Black, LGBT, whatever. Like if you got talent, we're going to push you. We're going to, put you in spotlight. We're going to make sure you're seen. We're going to make sure that, there's representation in the company. And I'm so very thankful, even from like my past and everyone in wrestling, as far as on the indies, who have allowed me the chance to really show that and be that representation, regardless of what that means to whoever is in the crowd. I think that it's definitely needed. And I'm just glad I get to be that figure. I didn't necessarily, like, I want to think about it that way, because I kind of just think about it like, oh, it's just I'm, a unique human being. I'm a unique wrestler. I never really wanted to be like a leader, I guess. It kind of happened. It fell in my lap, by default. But after it falling on my lap, and I kind of just took on the role and just said, hey man, we're doing this, like, and just having like Nyla too, like having Nyla in the company with me is game changing, because having her by my side and just being able to relate to her, and just, she tells me all the time, like, look, like they hired 2 LGBT people of color, like it's an amazing thing. So just go ahead and embrace that, like keep doing your thing. And she encourages me. She's the best. And just having her in the company, I'm sure she could probably say this a lot better than I can, but it's amazing. I tell Tony all the time, like, thank you for taking a chance on me. Like, thank you for taking a chance on Nyla and I, because, it's been a crazy journey, because it wasn't always the case. But
we're talking to Sonny Kiss here, the most fabulous wrestler you'll ever meet. Here on AEW Unrestricted.
One thing I'd like to talk about is State Farm Insurance. And I say I like to talk about that because I've been a State Farm customer, a member, if you will, since 1981, since the year that I was married. State Farm has surprisingly great rates on both auto and homeowners.
Tony, you've been a member of State Farm since before I was born.
There you go.
That means that they must have like great customer service. They've got agents available everywhere. Like, to be a member of a company for that long, you have to be really, really happy with their policies.
I'm happy with their policies. And now I'm happier, Aubrey, with their easy to use technology, because back then you would have to have the insurance card in your wallet. It was a paper insurance card or like a cardboard insurance card. Now you have it on your phone. They have a great app, and you have your insurance card right on your smartphone. So the technology that is advanced in the world has also advanced insurance, thanks to our people at State Farm.
So you can manage your coverage, pay your bill, file a claim, all just from your phone. Some you already carry around with you. Who needs cardboard cards anymore? Jeez.
No boy. A great price with even greater service. So Aubrey, as I always say, when you want the real deal,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. You say that all the time, Tony.
I do.
This is AEW Unrestricted. We're talking with Sonny Kiss, amazing wrestler, tag team wrestler, singles wrestler at AEW. Wonderful person, just leading the charge for being exactly who you are in wrestling. I love it. I love it to death. One of the things I wanted to talk about was your dance background, because that definitely comes through in your moveset, which itself is very unique already. So can you talk a little bit about like where you studied, how long you studied, like just all of it?
So I started dancing as a kid. It was basically like almost any like dancer. You usually start out by whether it's Broadway plays or whether it's just different like ballets, like going to see different ballets, or for me it was like hip hop and pop music videos that inspired me to start dancing. Whether it was Justin Timberlake or NSYNC or Britney Spears, Janet Jackson, Maya, whoever, Usher. You know, I always looked at those videos and I'm just like, oh my God, this is so freaking cool. And I would do the choreography as like a 9-10-year-old, just doing this in my room or my house. I'm probably even younger than that. My mom said I was always like a dancer. I was always dancing. And I started training at Kennedy Dancers in Jersey City. And then I was doing hip hop and jazz funk-ish. And then I started going to performing arts high school. And that was amazing because it was like I had teachers that were doing that. They danced modern, they taught modern and ballet and jazz and hip hop. And I always loved the hip hop, jazz, funk class. It's like my favorite. It's a style that I love the most. And I always like doing all like the sexy, funky hip hop moves. So yeah, there was plans to go to college for dance, but eventually that changed and I went into a different direction. I went into yoga and stuff like that. I just wanted to stay active in some sort of way, but I always loved dance and I've always did it for a while. And I did also, I'm not forgetting and skipping things. Okay, so I did New Jersey Performing Arts Center. I did the Summer Youth Performance Workshop, where they basically did contemporary dance and stuff like that. And that was a really awesome experience because I was like shocked that I even got in. I don't really have that well of a pointed feet. I just have a decent amount of passion and technique that allowed me to get somewhat far in that direction, because modern dance and contemporary dance was not necessarily my favorite. And I didn't really do that so much until I got into high school. So for me, having only like a couple of years experience and getting into that program, it was kind of like shocking. I was like, oh snap. Like if it was a hip hop program, it probably would have been a little different, or a jazz program, because I do a jazz dance as well. And I love that. But if it was like more in that realm, I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But it was quite the challenge. But yeah, no, I love dancing so much. So I really had fun with it and learning a different style and honing it over the years was just amazing. So that eventually led to, wrestling. And then I started intertwining, because wrestling and dance are both who I am as a person, and they'll never, ever, ever leave my bones. So, yeah, I love them both very, very much. And the best thing I could do is intertwine them, because I still love dancing so much and I can't do it professionally. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it in wrestling. So here I am combining them both.
So you started wrestling in 2015, but when did your interest in pro wrestling start?
Just as a kid, I actually played the video games first. People were like, just like, what? Like, I didn't know who anyone was at all. I started playing the video game Revenge. I just kind of was just like, saw my brothers and my cousins and my friends playing it. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, so I would pick like, certain people like Rey Mysterio, things like that. And I was just like, oh, like, these guys are doing like these flippy athletic acrobatic stuff. Like, I think that's so freaking cool. And then I eventually started watching it on TV, and, I didn't really think about doing it until after high school. Well, I started like senior high school, but like after high school is when I really realized, okay, like I really want to do this for a living. And I really want to give it a shot, just because I knew I had something different, and I knew there was no one like me. So I felt like I had a decent shot, because dancing, you're kind of like a dime a dozen. Like you're not really any different. Like someone else can do a double pirouette into a split, or someone else can do a round off back handspring into a back tuck, but can they do certain things like that in the ring? So that's where I said, okay, Sonny, you have something different here. Go for it. You never know what's going to happen. And then after hearing certain people like kind of like get behind me, like Matt Stryker and Teddy Long, and tell me like nice things, like you got a chance, like go for it, I just kind of went for it.
So where did you end up training?
So I started out at East Coast Professional Wrestling. My trainer was Gino Caruso. This was Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. 2011, I was managing first. I started out managing, which I love doing. It's so much fun. It's a different kind of art. And the whole manager of valet, the art of the manager of valet role, I kind of wish it comes back, because I think it's absolutely amazing. AEW obviously has been doing it. We have, Taz and people like that. So, and all the legends or whatever. So it's like we've been kind of like, teasing that role a little bit, but I think it was such a fun art. But yeah, I was doing that in 2011, and then I started actually wrestling in 2013, and then I got serious about it in 2015. So it was like ECPW. I'm sorry, I'm evading the question. So ECPW, Warriors of Wrestling. I started training there after a while. I bounced around a lot with Jake Gomez at Warriors of Wrestling, then also with Cheeseburger at Ring of Honor. So yeah, I was kind of just bouncing around, just having fun with it. Ace too, American Championship Entertainment Ace with Mike Morgan. I was training there as well.
It's kind of interesting to bounce around and do different instructors for coaches, because I feel like dancers kind of have a similar thing as well. Just like you don't have one particular person that you learn dance from. Like you'll learn ballet from a handful, and jazz from a handful others.
Yeah.
So it's funny how many parallels you have between the two.
Oh yeah, I was actually talking to someone else about it. There's like a lot of parallels, like with wrestling and dance, and just the athleticism and things like that, and the discipline that it takes. Obviously they're not the same because we don't take bumps in ballet, we don't take bumps in hip hop. If you are taking bumps, there's something wrong there.
Right. You got to get a new choreographer if you're taking bumps.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, as far as the discipline and the hard work, there's quite a lot of parallels. But yeah, and then the best thing in the world is having them both. They're like a huge part of my life, and I'm sure they're a huge part of your life as well. So yeah, because you and I are we're not strangers on the dance floor, or I should say the canvas. And we had a little something going on, and Gloria Estefan actually retweeted it, which was really cool.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Sonny and I did an indie show last summer that ended up turning into a dance break. With Gloria Estefan music, and then she ended up finding out about it. It was just incredible. It was like the first time that I did anything that went viral. Like Cody was just like doing like disappointed dad face on Twitter. It was fantastic. Right?
He wasn't disappointed. He loved it.
He loved it. He did.
Yeah, I know for sure.
I'm telling you, it needs something like that needs to be on AEW.
Oh, I'm sure it will eventually.
Listen, if we bring the Dynamite girls out, Tony, you're no stranger to the dance. You remember the dancers, Nitro girls.
Absolutely.
I would love to choreograph a routine if we do get Dynamite girls. A little something.
Sonny, you mentioned your mom, and your mom has been your biggest supporter, and you mentioned taking bumps. How does she feel about you taking bumps in the ring?
She actually is very, very, very supportive of everything. It's just that she gets a little bit kind of like, ooh, did that hurt? Like, are you okay? Right. I don't like that. Like sometimes she would like be in the crowd or whatever. Like she's let me wrestle a couple of times, and she'd be like, ooh, I want to get in the ring and I want to jump on him. I'm like, Mom, you can't do that. It's my job.
Right.
But no, yeah, it's just certain spots, obviously, because she's a mom, so it hurts her a little bit, But
right.
She'll be okay. She's super supportive of everything, and she's very, very, very happy for me.
So I want to talk about Lucha Underground a little bit, because you were Exolicious. I think you were teaming with Sammy Guevara as well.
I was teaming with Sammy. Sammy and I are actually best friends outside of the business, which is amazing. started in Lucha Underground together. We sort of like had like an authentic friendship, but yeah, it was really, really cool. We really, really had like a really genuine connection. Sammy and Evilise as well. Evilise did our Double or Nothing pay-per-view. She is amazing. Like they both were. That whole team, that teaming us three up was so like random, but it totally worked so well. Like it was the best.
What would you say are the biggest differences between doing a TV show like Lucha Underground and a TV show like Dynamite?
I would say that's a good question. Lucha Underground was kind of like a little bit more of the cinematics, like they had a little bit more of that. So it was kind of like a, you know, like a serial kind of like a television series. Also with, it was kind of like a how do you say it? Like a, what do you call, like a sci-fi or something kind of thing. It had its like moments of like a like a little bit of everything. So it was like a lot of different things. Like it was interesting, but it was, I would say it's just a little more of acting, like versus
It's kind of like doing a movie, right? It's kind of like being on a movie. It's kind of like being on a movie set, maybe.
Yeah. I would say it's like almost like you're filming a movie and a, you know, wrestling match, whereas the AEW is more of like the wrestling match and, you know, a couple of movie scenes. so just a little more on one side, you know.
Right. So when you do so many different wrestling and you trained and you've been doing independents, a lot of crazy things happen. Now you had a blindfold match. Is that like the craziest thing that you've ever done?
Did you say the blindfold match?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys did your research.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I had a blindfold match against Jock Sampson, an indie wrestler from the Midwest. That was so much fun. I didn't know what to expect. I'd never done that before. Wrestling legend and wrestling trainer Ron Hutchinson actually was in the crowd for that. So, yeah.
So was that had to be, I mean, to me, that's kind of like wrestling the Invisible Man. It's kind of it's kind of like a very difficult thing to do. I just it
was actually very, very easy because, you know,
Really?
obviously the blindfolds are gimmicked, so you can still see.
Right.
The blindfolds are gimmicked.
It was easy because I didn't really have to take bumps. So that was fun. And it was just a lot of the crowd participation. I would say that was the most yeah, that was the coolest thing about it. Like the crowd was like, he's over there, go that way, go that way. And then you're like totally like
Feel like it's a wrestling version of Marco Polo or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So much fun now.
Sonny, your moves, the split-legged moonsault, sunny side up, and you do that twerk salt as well. Those are moves that have become very famous in AEW, and they obviously are part of your athleticism and brings in your dance training as well. So talk about those moves.
Yes, it does. Well, split like moonsault I actually have not done in AEW yet, but right, exactly. The twerk salt is just it's just a part of like my personality, fun, you know, just being silly and goofy, but also, you know, adding a little sex appeal to my wrestling. And yeah, the split leg moonsault is gonna come one day, but the split leg drop and things like that have definitely become like a, you know, like patented for me. So yeah, it definitely comes from my dance background for sure, and just kind of like a shock factor. Definitely like for people to be like, whoa, like, and even like missing it is like kind of like, well, I shouldn't tell my opponents this, but missing it is more of like a shock factor because it's like, holy crap, like that's so crazy that you can miss that and not hurt yourself. Well, I guess I could tell them that because it doesn't hurt.
Can't stop me.
Right.
We're talking with Sonny Kiss on AEW Unrestricted. We understand that he's a self-described nostalgia junkie. We're going to find out that coming up. If you follow Sonny Kiss on Twitter, you might have seen the poll that is put up asking followers to vote for their favorite decade when it comes to fashion, music, pop culture, and vibes. Voters picked the 90s. Do you agree with that?
It's so funny that you pulled this up. I'm so sorry. Yes, I was very curious to see what my followers thought. I personally love the 90s a lot as far as like music, culture, style, but I also have to give it to the 2000s as well. It's like I just feel like time. It was a very special time in music, especially pop music, and just different. A lot of subgenres were kind of like a big thing at the time too. Like I love the grunge, I love the new metal, like the things like that. So yeah, it was a very elite time. So 90s, I will say I won't rival that, but I can also I won't try to say, okay, that's wrong, because I love the 2000s as well. But I do like the 90s a lot. So
one of my favorite things is you're so into 90s, and I think a lot of people would assume you're all about pop music, but learning that you're into Limp Bizkit and Nickelback and Aaliyah and just anything at all, I feel like you're so just accepting of whatever music is, it doesn't matter the genre, if it's good, you like it.
Very true. I like it all. I do love Limp Bizkit. It's my favorite band of all time. Fred Durst is from Jacksonville, Florida. So hi, Fred. If you want to stop by and say hello to us, you can bring Wes and Sam and John, and we love them all. Lethal's from Jersey City. Hey, Lethal. Jersey represent. No. But yeah, no, I'm a big Limp Bizkit fan. I love new metal. It's just it's such a great genre. And then people are just oh, it's very sad and angsty, and I'm just no, it's just fun. It's good music. Slipknot, I like it all. But yeah.
Were you? Did you like NSYNC?
I did love NSYNC. I actually just talked about it in a podcast with Chris Van Vliet. And I often feel pressure to say because I'm a person that's very in the middle of everything, and I never really give a exact answer because I like everything. So he asked me to NSYNC or Backstreet Boys more, and I said NSYNC, but that's not real. It's not authentic of me to say that, because I really don't like either one of them more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just felt pressure to give a definitive answer, and I'm just be you, Sonny. If you like everything, you like everything. So yes, I love NSYNC. Yes, I love Backstreet Boys. Yes, I love Five. I love O-Town. I love Westlife. I love Youngstown. I love Blue. I love all the boy bands. I am a boy band girl group junkie as far as music as well. I love it all. So new metal, boy bands, girl groups, pop, hip hop, R&B, rock.
So you're all over the place with music.
Yes.
What are there any particular TV shows or movie genres that you're yes? Because I would assume all of them is also the answer for that.
Yeah. So a lot of my favorite movies come from the 90s, 2000s. Jeepers
I am
Creepers
not surprised.
2. I love Jeepers Creepers, the series. Home Alone 1, 2, and 3 are my favorites. I love them all. Napoleon Dynamite, that's 2004.
My gosh.
I have a lot of favorite movies.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Romeo Must Die. Romeo Must Die. John Tucker Must Die. Bring It On is my favorite movie of all time.
Bring It On is so good.
Yes. If you've seen my gift to on Twitter, you'll see it. Yeah. Bring It On, The Hot Chick, and Big Fat Liar are my top 3 movies of all time. So those 3. Wow. Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite is one of the great comedy movies of all time.
It's the best. It really and they did that on a $10,000 budget, and they didn't realize that it was going to be so big, but it's it even became a huge phenomenon around that time, 2004, 2005-ish. And it garnered so much money. Same thing. Also, my favorite movie, Showgirls, is also one of my favorites, and it garnered so much money with DVDs and sales and things like that, and because it bombed at the box office, but it did so well in DVDs, and I love that movie so much. So funny.
You're just all over the place. I absolutely love it.
I am. I'm kind of an Energizer bunny. I'm freaking out everywhere.
Oh my God.
Because I just love so much stuff. I'm just so into this conversation.
So one of the things you and I have been talking about a lot recently is your switch to a plant-based diet.
Yes.
So what was the
I text
catalyst
you every
for that?
time.
Yeah, you're I just made this amazing pasta with meatballs and there's no meat in it.
Fantastic. Yes.
So what was the catalyst for switching?
I feel I have I don't talk about it much, but I have a skin problem, a very, very bad skin disease. It definitely kind of messes with me, and I know it has a lot to do with my diet. When you have a certain thing like a dermatitis and like that, a lot of times the root is inside. Mm-hmm. Eczema or whatever that is. A lot of those autoimmune, problems comes from your diet. Mm-hmm. And I knew I had to switch. I had to stop eating certain things like the red meat and all the the dairy stuff. And even though I still love dairy, I still do it to this day, and I torture myself. I don't know why. But yeah, I knew that I had to make a change, so that's why I started doing plant-based.
Yeah, it's real interesting because it's one of those when you start realizing like what's in the food you're putting in yourself. Like I started eating like mostly organic, and it totally messed with my hormones. And it's just I feel you on that. It's like you try and like, oh, I'm gonna eat better. Oh wait, now I have all these other problems.
And I mean, like, just taking the steps, even if you do like want to, like, there's this new diet, this new fad that people are talking about called, was it flexitarian? So there's like Be Good is a place that is like very flexitarian. Like they're like, okay, like we have the turkey flexitarian burger or whatever. Like some people are just like, well, I don't want to not cut out, I don't want to cut out beef, permanently, or cut out chicken permanently. So you kind of just go like, okay, I'll do chicken one day, I'll do beef one day of the week, and I'll do fish, and then I'll not eat beef for the rest of the week, or whatever. I'll not eat meat for the rest of the month, or however you want to do it. So flexitarian diets are awesome in that sense because you don't have to cut it out completely. You kind of just, little by little, just take it out of your diet.
Have you heard of Eat Clean Bro?
Oh yes, Eat Clean Bros. That it's one of those meal delivery services, right?
I actually heard of it now that you say that. Yeah,
Brandy's a big fan.
Right. I think I saw it on email or something like that.
Yeah.
She is a big fan. As a matter of fact, we're big fans of it here at the house too. Ooh. That's kind of how we eat now.
Oh, good.
You can go vegetarian with that. You can put protein in it. It's just really well done. Yeah. So now, you're got the plant-based diet, and Joey comes out with all this lunch meat in his mouth on your video.
Oh, he's going to get the Lunchables from the gas station.
Get the Lunchables.
And I'm one of those people. I don't mind. Like my ex-boyfriend, I used to cook boyfriend steak. Like I would not eat it, but I was cooking him. I was roasting steaks for him and chickens and all that stuff because I feel like everybody should just be able to do what they want to do. If it's not hurting anybody, why not? And I know, like, Aubrey, you're just like your husband. You're like, I can't do the eggs thing. But
eggs smell so disgusting now. Oh my god!
At least like you're not like throwing shade at him or being rude to him.
No, eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just don't make me clean it up after.
Right, exactly. But I have no problem with making steak still and all that stuff for him. So yeah, well, when I was dating him, but yeah.
Okay, so part of our research, you make your own body products and fragrances.
Oh my god!
How about that?
Stacey, I'm gonna get you. Put me on the spot, totally.
Okay. Well, if you do you ever think about that becoming like a commercial product line or something like that?
There's a lot to go into that stuff.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe one day. I don't think I'm ready right now. Maybe like when I get a chance to finish school, and because I'm also a college student. I don't know if you knew that. So yeah, maybe one day, but not right now. I mean, like I occasionally make it for myself. Like just. Sorry, comment. Yeah. So occasionally I make it for myself. I'll mix different oils together, whether it's vitamin E oil, just all natural oils together to make whether it's lotions or perfumes. So yeah.
Right. Essential oils?
Yes.
Yeah. My daughter is big into that, and we got them all over the house here. We don't even use air fresheners anymore. We use essential oils and diffusers.
That's really awesome. Heck yeah.
So you had mentioned that you're a college student, and I know you're graduating in the next few months.
I am a senior. I graduate December of this year.
All right.
What's your major?
It's kinesiology, athletic training, professional fitness training.
Perfect.
Yes. And Bryce, I was talking to Bryce. I'm like, Bryce, can I shadow you some days? And he's like, yeah, come do it.
That's incredible.
Bryce already is our senior functional sports therapist. Is that what he is? How do you say
I don't know. He's everybody's best friend, and he makes us feel
okay.
Good.
Yeah. I want to make sure I got his title correct. You know I'm saying it. But
he's best friend Bryce. That's his title.
Right. Exactly. Best friend Bryce. So yeah, it's that athletic training and stuff like that. I graduated in December. Actually, the funny thing is on my transcript it says December 11th, 2020, which is my birthday. So it's like I graduate on my birthday. It's my last day of class. Yes,
that'll be a wonderful birthday present.
Yes, the coolest thing. But yes, I'm enjoying it. Some days it can be a little difficult, but of course it's college, so. Even managing it with traveling and stuff like that. And I just moved into this new apartment, like I said. So a lot of it, it's hard to manage at times, but I'm doing it, and I'm not giving up.
And I love that AEW is able to just like allow you the opportunity to continue doing school and whatnot. Like, that's
and Tony actually fully encourages it.
Oh, 100%.
Completely encourages it. And asks me all the time. He asks me, Axe, my New Jersey accent just came out. I said, Axe. Yes, I'm from Jersey. But no, Tony always asks me, he's like, how much more do you have to go? Or how's school going? And I love that about him. He's the best.
So you still live in Jersey City?
No, I do not. But we're going to continue to keep saying that I do.
Okay. Because I knew you lived there one time because my oldest son lives there, and I've been to Jersey City many times.
I love
and
Jersey
he said,
City.
He said, Dad, I thought I saw Sonny Kiss. And I said, that was Sonny Kiss. Sonny lives in New Jersey. So, but yeah, it's, gosh, I love Jersey City.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do. It's really turned into a nice place to live.
Yeah, it's been heavily gentrified, but I love living there. I enjoyed it. It's where I grew up. It was where I was born and raised. So I have lots of memories there. I kind of know it's one of the things where it's like home is always going to be home. So it was tough to leave. Now I live in Union County, New Jersey. But it was tough to leave. But, I knew I had to have something different in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Home is always home, though.
Plus, now that I have this job, it's the first time I have an apartment in my name.
Yes.
So that's really cool.
Right.
At 26 years old, I can finally say I have an apartment in my name with no roommates, just my mom. My mom stays here with me, because of COVID. So, yeah.
So do you have any future goals for AEW? Because you're already accomplishing so much. Like, where do you see yourself going from here?
I just see myself continuing to rise, continuing to improve, with Dustin as my trainer, of course, because he's the greatest. I continue to improve day in and day out, week in and week out, and hopefully win some gold with Joey and, some singles gold. We'll see what happens. For both of us, actually, I would love for us to have, double titles, have some titles around our waist, But and just having fun and enjoying the ride and learning and, from my mistakes and just continuing to learn, all about the business and how to move forward into it. Mm-hmm.
Well, Sonny, it's a delight working with you. And I say that honestly. And some of the things you do in the ring are phenomenal. They really are. And I think you're going to grow. I think you're going to get better. When someone asks me, and I'm sure Aubrey says the same thing, and you kind of talked about it, when you talk about your goals, kind of working in AEW is kind of like reaching a goal because you're working for a good person, which I think is a goal for all of us, to work for a good person. Do what you love with. I think it's what all of us can say. We're doing what we love. And I think you get the right answer. You just want to grow within the company, and that's a pretty good goal for all of us right now. So we really appreciate your time, really do, Sonny.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I just can't believe it. I'm just like, you guys shocked the heck out of me. I was like, what the heck? How did you know? I was like, it's so freaking funny. But thank you so much for really, really getting all your information together. I really, oh my God, I can appreciate that. It's awesome.
You can follow Sonny on Twitter and Instagram at SonnyKissXO. You can also subscribe to AEW Unrestricted for free wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you also leave a review, likes, stars, whatever platform you're on. We want to hear from you guys. We want to hear who you want us to talk to, what you like about the podcast. Let us know. And then on Wednesdays, Dynamite, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, you can see all of us, including the amazing Sonny Kiss. You can watch Dark on YouTube. We've got so much stuff and so many awesome places that you should just be watching stuff. Just tune in, listen, consume wonderful, wholesome content. I'm Aubrey Edwards.
I'm Tony Schiavone.
Thanks for listening.